Hello again from Central Virginia. We've been away a couple of days, so it's really nice to get back into the garden. I've been working on different things throughout the day, just sort of picking things that needed to be picked. And now I'm actually going to go and flip my tomato bed, my sauce patch. My sauce patch is pretty much done. I'm going to pick the remaining tomatoes, and then I'm going to pull those plants, and I'm going to transition it into a brassica bed. I've got some Brussels sprouts already planted in there, and I'm going to add some other brassica and leafy greens there for the fall. So let's get to it. Look what my sweet spouse got me. Isn't that nice? It is really good to get back to the garden. Come along. Well, here's what's left of the sauce patch. So what I'm gonna sow today are some brassicas and lettuces. Chijimsai, which I sowed in the spring and I loved. I'm gonna try this Chinese yellow heart winter choy. It's like a little cabbage. I'm gonna sow some lettuces and a few radishes. I also have some compost. This is my homemade compost. And I have a little bit of fertilizer and some hay for mulch around because I'll need to refresh that as well. Just get picking. Get picking. Pick everything. This will just be some sauce and some salsa. Yep, you guys are all ready. Last year, my sauce patch came back. It gave me a whole second harvest. But that's not happening this year. All right, I'm just gonna prep this area now. I'm not doing much. I'm just literally flipping the bed. This is a no-dig bed, as all my beds were. I'm checking for little weeds, getting rid of things we don't need, like rotten food, to bring in critters. I'm just gonna take this and I'm just gonna do a tiny little bit of digging up. There's surface roots and things like that from the tomatoes that we're growing in here. I'll loosen the soil. This soil was prepped really well in the spring, but I'm just gonna freshen it up some since it has had tomatoes growing and it is gonna have Brussels sprouts and some other brassicas growing on. I'm going to put some organic 343 granular fertilizer in here and just turn that in a little. The soil's still remarkably moist. No dig the way that I do it with a heavy mulch on top. It does do a nice job at keeping the soil pretty cool. I'm now going to put a couple of scoops of my homemade compost in. That'll give this bed a nice rich boost. Now, my next act, I'm going to plant some seeds in here. Winter Choy Chinese yellow heart, 1/4 of an inch deep. Next, on this side, I'll just go and plant the Chijimsai. This I planted in the spring. We loved it. Tried to plant it in my brassica bed in the summer, but it just didn't do well. It got completely overshaded by all of the other plants that were growing so tall in it. Nicely, everything needs a water here today. But I'm just going to put a mulch in here. I'm going to definitely make sure that all of this stays well mulched because that really helps with the weed control. It also helps with the moisture retention. Just going to repeat the same procedure in terms of the soil prep and flipping the bed. And I'm going to be planting some lettuces. These do pretty well. They're slow to bolt and they are more like a head lettuce than a leaf lettuce, which is fine because since this is going to be under cover, I don't really anticipate wanting to pull the cover up all the time, grab my leaf lettuce. I'll plant the leaf lettuce elsewhere. Okay, everything's all planted up. This will be a nice brassica bed. I'm going to put some Captain Jacks on the Brussels sprouts because I'm not trusting the blister beetles are all gone. I got a few of them out of here. They were starting in on the tomatoes. So it's looking good. I will do the treatments on these and then I will put the cover over it probably in a couple of days. Well, that took a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I got a lot done and I did a few other things along the way. So I hope your garden's growing well. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.